Welcome on in, Aquarius, and let's clear the space. We're going to do a financial reading for you this Friday. You know, for some people it's payday. And you know, I'm just going to do a little bit of personal sharing here. I started as, you know, a routine practice, what I call financial Fridays in my own life. And that happened when I started going through a lot of midlife crisis energy, which we all collectively go through age 40 to 44, okay? And that's when you start looking at your life and you start realizing, wait, where did I go wrong? Where did I miss it? And so for me, I came to this point of realizing, you know, I'm not really about this 3D stuff, right? But that's my problem. Like, I'm more in the 5D, right? With all my Aquarius and Pisces placements. I don't want to be about all this earthly stuff. But it started biting me in the behind, if you know what I mean. And I started realizing, you know, I've lost a lot because of this. And there's no way around it. In this, we do live in this material world, you know, as spiritual as we try to be, it does affect us, right? Like, if I can't pay my bills to go live, then how do I get this spiritual message out to you? Like, I could be a monk all day long, but if I can't get my message out to humanity, you see what I'm saying? It's all interrelated. Also, I learned that, you know, it's all Venusian. So if you're having issues with your love life, you're probably having issues with your financial life. So it has a lot to do with values. So we're going to go there. All right. And for those of you who don't normally watch financial readings, I really thank you. And not only for tuning in, for clicking on, but staying tuned in, because I hope this edifies you, and that's my prayer, is that we get some messages today to edify you, to build you up, to strengthen you, to position you in life where you have more security and stability, not only to offer to yourself, but to others, right? Blessed to be a blessing, that type of energy. So we're going to look at, I'm going to do a couple spreads today, okay? We're going to first start off looking at your current financial situation and how we can strengthen it, and maybe get some new sources of income. Look at the possibilities of new income sources or new opportunities that you could consider, and how you can actually better position yourself at this time, given everything going on around you, so that you can improve your abundance. And then we're going to do a second spread before we close out, where we're looking at just, you know, it's more of a career focus. Okay, the first one is more about resources, whereas those of you who are concerned about stuff going on with looking for a job, or maybe you are like me, you're self-employed and you're wanting to figure out where you're at versus where you want to be in your career and how to strengthen that, okay? And look at how to improve your chances of success and get some advice on doing that, then make sure you stay tuned to the end, okay? So let's start off with that money reading having to do with your resources. And let's find out what your current situation is financially, okay? Please show me, Spirit, Aquarius's current financial situation. I think it's been dicey for a lot of people. It's been topsy-turvy with North Node in Taurus, and we've had a lot of eclipses there, okay? Some of you are very much trying to protect and defend what is yours. You're very much in this protective stance. Some of you are dealing with a lot of aggression going on materially, in terms of resources. People very defensive about just pushing back on you, like feeling like people are coming after you for money. People are very defensive if you're trying to get money out of them that they owe you. That's a rough energy, okay? It's a lot of Mars energy coming off of that card, and it's indicating me that you are... I'm hearing adversity, and I'm also hearing, there's the Stars card, which is your energy, okay? Really pushing hard on your ambitions. And if you're not, because of Mars retrograde, right, that we're coming into, you are reevaluating how do you go after yours? How do you go after wish fulfillment? Because I do feel that perhaps you're trying to avoid being overcome by a situation, financially overcome by the demands of other people, financially, or maybe with colleagues, maybe online if you work online. Some of you, this is definitely a timing situation. Again, it's an astrological thing with Mars going retrograde. You are reassessing. How do I defend myself from the pushback I'm getting financially? And I think you're trying to step more into your individual freedom, and maybe, again, reassessing with Mars retrograde. How do I protect myself in a manner that protects my freedom, my autonomy, my ability to live? And I'm hearing self-determination. Be self-determined as I wish. Some of you, this is about starting a new business or a new business venture, putting your talent to use in some respect. I am actually getting that you could definitely get some kind of award or acknowledgement or recognition for this work. In some way, it could be definitely honored. And with the Emperor, it might be, again, if you are an employee, it could be a boss is honoring you, okay? Because honoring, recognizing the fact... I don't know if this person was actually looking at you, okay? But they might be side-eyeing you like, wait a minute, Aquarius over there has actually got some game. Where did this come from, you know? For others of you, like if you own your own business, I see that you are bossing up and people are like, wow, I didn't see this side of you, okay? Because I feel that you're pushing back hard against some adversity in trying to overcome or avoid some type of being overcome by others and the demands that they're putting on you. Maybe, again, with an online business for some of you. But this is showing up, this major arcana showing up pretty powerful and influential, and really standing in your own sovereign power here. This is pretty good, all right? And that both of these are about you protecting and defending to get that wish fulfillment, so that you do have financial independence. Some of you also, part of what you are being recognized for is putting things in order that have been out of order. And you got a lot of pushback on that. But I see you getting recognized for bringing order where there was disorder. Some of you also getting wish fulfillment from getting your accounts in order, really doing a sober self-audit of what you have and how to best use it, and being very disciplined as well. I'm actually digging this, okay? Yes, I do see some pushback. I do see some adversity here, but I see you rising to the occasion quite well, Aquarius. bravo. You are doing a damn good job. If nobody's telling you, I'm going to tell you, okay? I'm going to tell you. So what are the weaknesses of this current financial situation? Weakness or challenges or blockages in this current financial situation? Please show me. Three of Wands, having to wait, okay? Wait on something, trying to wait to get expansion, wait for something to grow. And I think that that's, again, you might really be under the gun with that Seven of Wands, under the gun to get it right now or as soon as possible. But you're having to wait for the results of your hard work and your, I'm hearing reorganization of things. But I do see you looking ahead. I mean, this is ruled by the Sun card, so very benefic, very benefic. Could you tell me more about this challenge or blockage or pushback? I'm hearing it takes time, okay? It takes time. And the timing, it might feel kind of a little laborious or labor intensive. Yeah, something is kind of off in the distant horizon. Unexpected income. You might be looking to get some money off of this, but it might not come in until, I'm sorry to say, summertime. So just hang in there, okay? If you don't feel like you're getting the recognition or the income increase that you're wanting, just wait, okay? Okay, let me say, if you launch this around the new moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd of November, powerful time, right? I've launched this channel on that. I actually got the channel up on 11/11/22. Those are master numbers. And those are numbers of alignment, super powerful. And then I'm actually publishing the first video on this channel on 11/23/22 to seize that moment, that energy, okay? So anything around this time frame, post the eclipses, right? We had our last eclipse of this year on the 8th of November. So anything you're launching post November 8th, really potent, really a lot of potential and possibility. But again, energetically, astrologically, we're looking at this coming into fruition over the next 6 months when we have a full moon in Sagittarius to complete the new moon in Sagittarius that we had on the 23rd. Okay, so let's see, what are the strengths? I feel like, honestly, you're going to get the victory here. It's just it's diligence, discipline, asserting yourself consistently. You're going to get the victory. You're going to get the increase. But you got to practice these things over the next 6 months, okay? And then this is really going to bear some fruit, okay? It's not a get rich quick overnight thing. What are the strengths of Aquarius's financial situation? Two of Swords. This might have to do with your strategy, okay? The way that you are coming across in terms of making a decision. Oddly, it's a card, you know, we don't normally associate with positivity, right? Because it could be like a stalemate. And again, it's more this kind of waiting energy. But so I'm getting like, it's actually going to work to your benefit. And again, I'm getting another energy of trying to avoid something, avoid failure, I guess, or loss. but I do feel the strength is maybe some of you are dealing with that something was stuck, some stuck energy, and that realized you had to make a decision about this. Might have been a difficult decision. There's moon, interesting, moon, sun. Okay, so, but again, it's showing up as a strength. So some of you intuitively, you knew something was not going to get movement. You knew it was stuck, and you knew, I've got to make a decision here, difficult as it is, right? I'm not putting these videos on my other channel because I know the algorithm is not supporting my other channel. The algorithm tends to support the new channels. So I said, okay, I'm going to put this work on a new channel, and we're rolling the dice, and let's see if it sticks. But I know that this old channel, I'm going to have to like back burner it, because I see that it's stuck, right? I'm just sharing with you as an example how this might be manifesting in your life, right? But it looks like you've had to deal with something difficult, make a decision to move on from something that, painful as it was, maybe, yeah, it was stuck, and you realize, I'm gonna have to get movement elsewhere because I'm not gonna be able to get movement in this way. And again, for some of you, also searching for help, trying to get help in some respect. And then again, I see the positivity here is that whatever you give to this situation, it returns. You get a return on your investment. And the Knight of Wands is at the foundation. So actually, I think on the positive, this could take off a lot quicker than maybe what you're thinking. Okay, the growth actually could go pretty fast. Some of you moving home, and that might happen unexpectedly, or others of you making some very bold moves. Whatever this decision is, you being nimble, you being agile, and recognizing that's not working, and you don't work it, and then you see what does work and you move on it without getting analysis paralysis, right? Then I see things really taking off and moving forward. Actually, I'm loving that, because I mean, I do see a time frame of summertime, but I'm also seeing that it's going to grow pretty quick. You might not see the money until summertime, but between now and then, you're going to see it moving in that direction positively. So I'm really digging that. Now, for some of you, this movement might have to do with a friend or a relative coming to visit you, or again, a change of residence for you personally. So let me see if I can get any more insight into this. Moving locations or residences actually might in some way benefit you or serve you positively. That's an interesting message. Particularly if you've been dealing with something going on in your line of work where people either haven't been true to you, or you feel that you haven't been seen fully. If you felt like you were being shadow banned or blacklisted, or just kind of working quietly behind the scenes alone, and you were not being seen or recognized, I can see that really caused a lot of concern and maybe put you in a situation of bad financial health. Okay, but I feel like this is a sign that you know, on the positive, you've looked at what this issue is, you have addressed it, you made some difficult decisions, and from now on, gonna move forward on this. I'm actually pretty happy about that. Let's look at the potential new income sources for you. New income sources, opportunities, projects for Aquarius to consider at this time. Okay. Anchor, money blocks, being stuck, financially sound. Career might be water-related, travel, stable for now. So this is interesting. Some of you might get involved in overseas. I'm seeing something like trade-related overseas. I do feel like, again, there's some stuck energy that you have had to address, and doing so is actually going to work to your benefit. Maybe, yes, money blockages, again, where you've been defending what you do have at this point, but feeling stuck, like, how do I get out of this? And I feel that it's about being very responsible and disciplined and financially sound in those decision makings. But again, I'm seeing some of you maybe moving for a new job or work opportunity, or some of you, if you work from home, you're moving possibly in a new residence where hopefully it will help you to get more rooted. It's a little hard right now for all of us collectively with Uranus in Taurus. Okay, we've got like a couple more years of that, so it's very hard for a lot of people to anchor down. All right, but I think this is about you stabilizing, as I said before, getting your money in order, getting your accounts in order, and being very, very disciplined in that respect. Because I'm getting also another message that you may be looking externally for things outside of yourself to anchor and stabilize you, when actually this is more about you developing an inner strength, you anchoring yourself within the storms that are going on, so that you're not blown by every wind that comes along, every financial wind that comes along, that you have to figure out, how do I stabilize myself in an unstable world? I can't fix what others are doing. I can't, make people hire me or make people buy my services. But what I can do is I can be diligent. I can be on point with my life, purpose, destiny. I can be disciplined. And I can, I just heard you win some, you lose some, all right? So anything else we need to know about opportunities, projects, new income sources? Oof. Okay. Overflowing prosperity, full or empty account, career, nurturer, taker, taking care of business, fulfilled. So I really get the sense that for some of you, if you have been dealing with money blocks or, pushback with your money, challenges, adversity, and you want to come into more of this prosperity, and I'm getting something about feast or famine, okay, that what you have to do is, again, take more, boss up, step into this more of a, I gotta do what I gotta do to also nurture the growth, but to protect the growth so that you do find fulfillment, I should say. And then we get money flow from hard work, putting plans in motion. And for some of you, building a team, things taking off and getting security over time. So honestly, I am getting this general vibe that for you, it's really about you stabilizing things that have been unstable and creating flow within your bank account through hard work, diligence. It's almost like you get rewarded for showing up consistently and being there. What do you need to learn or change about handling money? What might be causing the root problem with money issues? If you are having money problems, adversity with income, resources, what might Aquarius need to learn or change about how they handle money? Please show me what might Aquarius need to learn or change. Resourcefulness, you know, with the Magician, it is what you're manifesting out of your own personal power, but it might also be looking at your expectations. Some of you perhaps need to sell something. You need to complete a sale. Others of you, I'm seeing this is about what you're producing. Some of you manufacturing, making something. I'm getting something about products, not just services, okay? And again, I'm seeing something about fast timing being associated with it. Some of you maybe are expecting fast timing. And Knave of Chalices, it might have to do with the way that you're communicating yourself. You might be coming across as though you expect things to happen very fast. Or that you're looking to manifest some synchronicity or things coming just like lining up for you. But also be aware about communications being really sensitive here. Money might be a very sensitive topic for you. It's hard for you, right? I had to work through this as part of my healing work when Saturn was going through my 8th house, having to do with shared resources. And I was taking a major beat down, you know, at that time. But I had to face my, you know, insecurities head on, and I had to start learning how to get on the phone and talk to people about resolving debts or restructuring debts and not cry about it, okay? Not avoid it, right? Where, and that might not be you. I've got a lot of water in my chart. But, you know, particularly if you come from a background where money issues have been a very sensitive topic for you, it could definitely trigger you where you're not, maybe you're procrastinating, right? Like back in the day before I got healed from this stuff, if I couldn't pay a bill, I just wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't open it because in my mind, I'm like, well, I can't deal with it right now. And so I just wouldn't deal with it. And then the problem would not go away. It would get worse until bad stuff happened, right? And that's an immature approach, which is, right, emotionally immature approach. I was letting my insecurities run my money, my resources, and it was impacting what I was able to manifest. And so when I started like leveling up and managing my emotions rather than letting them manage me, then I started manifesting a whole lot more, okay? So there could be a root problem here. Some of you are regretful about what you have or haven't manifested. Some of you very disappointed, but I think what you have to learn is, it's almost, I'm getting like chess. I'm hearing chess and I'm seeing a chessboard. Start looking at it as a game rather than some commentary on your personal worth or value, which is something I did, again, when I wasn't healed of this stuff. Sometimes I fall back into it because it's the way of the world, right? In this society, your personal power, which is really what I'm seeing here, but with that Magician's card, your personal power in this world has a lot to do with how much money you have. It's an ugly truth about society. And if we all have, you know, dips in our income, we have highs and we have lows, and how we manage it, is not really about us, right? Even, I'm sure Bill Gates has some highs and lows, right? He just went to divorce court and his wife, I think, got half of his net worth. Maybe a bad example, but even the rich have, you know, their down times is what I'm trying to say. But not really looking at it as that there's something wrong with you or that you're failing because you are dealing with adversity, okay? But more of it, more looking at it as, how do I strengthen myself and become more financially fit? to manage these financial storms that are coming my way. I feel like you got to look at what you've regretted, is the advice. If you regret manifesting something, all right, apply yourself to learning the lesson of that and no longer, you know, putting your resources into that, your talents, your energy. Put yourself instead in something else, okay? And let's get some advice for you on alleviating some financial stress and improving your abundance for Aquarius. How can Aquarius alleviate financial stress and improve abundance? How can Aquarius, and I'm getting a couple cards here. Honestly, it's kind of vague, and I will say that I feel earlier that kind of was given right from the beginning of the reading that it has a lot to do with you showing up and pushing back and not rolling over and giving up, you know, and crying and over spilled milk, you know, or personalizing it that, you know, that is something about wrong with you and what you're able to manifest in this life, okay? Instead, boss it up. Bring order where there's been disorder, you know, take account of what is there and take a very disciplined, diligent approach to protect what is yours and to go after what you really wish for, whatever your ambitions are. If it's a dream home, or if it's some career ambition, you really have to, I'm getting it's a very masculine energy you're going to have to step into to bring this to fruition. And it will. It's going to reward you is what it's telling me. But you've got to be in this abundant mindset of knowing that you're not in lack. If you put the work in, it's going to come in. And I also have to say, if you sow wisely, you will reap well, right? You don't want to put your resources, talents, energy into bad ground, right? You want to make sure that you're sowing your seeds, so to speak, in fertile ground where it can take root and it can grow and it can be nurtured and nourished and protected to grow into something really abundant, okay? If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something you already have in the present moment, and that is what you will experience. So some of you, the abundance is really not in all this 3D stuff. It is within you, right? Like, look at this work that I do. I didn't have to go get a job. I got in alignment with my life purpose, my God-given gifts and talents. I got in alignment with that, and I started taking a leadership role in honoring that. And I show up here and I do what God wants me to do with my life, and Spirit honors it. I make money out of thin air, right? Not from somebody else or something else, but I make it because God gives me the ideas. He gives me the insight. He's given me the gifts and talents. I carry it within myself. The car and the job doesn't make me. I make it, right? That's what this is talking about. God is your source. Everything you need is supplied by the infinite source. And your faith opens the doorway to receive. In God, there's no lack or limitation. Rather, there is plenty of abundance for all to share. Every good and perfect gift is from God, right? And I'm also getting that abundance is God's plan, right? Scarcity has been manufactured. If you are dealing with some kind of scarcity, you have to look at what's going on. You've got to take dominion over this. You have got to defend what is your God-given right in this life, and that is abundance. For some of you, going out in nature, reset your energy is going to be really important, right? Like I spend a lot of my time indoors doing readings, but I have to reset, replenish, recharge. We know this, Aquarians. We pour out, we pour out, we pour out. We've got to replenish ourselves. We can't drain ourselves. So you've got to set some time aside to get out there and energetically reset yourself out in nature. It says spending time in nature helps you to shift to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or a hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. And I feel like, yeah, that's... looking at the stars, looking at nature is really a reminder of this abundance, right? Just think of how many seeds are in a piece of fruit. It's not just one piece of fruit. One piece of fruit can make an unending amount of pieces of fruit, right? So that's just an example of how many seeds that you have within you that you can sow and get abundance and nourishment out there. It's the same for you. I'm going to do one more spread for career advice, okay? Real quick, before I forget, I need to tell you that if you want more tarot content from me, it's over to Etsy. And you can order private readings over there as well, in addition to on-demand pay-per-view content that's affordably priced. And I'm uploading new stuff all the time, lots of other goodies on there as well. And another place you could go if you want to get a private reading is to my website, crownones.weebly.com. I will have the links down below for those of you who are interested. And for those of you who are just like, hey, I just need the free stuff right now, and you want more readings that are free, you can visit my other channel, The Crowned Life, here on YouTube, where I go live every new moon and full moon, so make sure to subscribe. Let's look at where you're at right now with your career versus where you want to be with your career. Okay. I'm going to take those two. So where you're at right now is you're trying to get something to grow, okay? And you're really nurturing it, but I don't know if you're quite clear as of yet what's going to be viable and what's not. You might be casting your net pretty wide and trying to see what takes, okay? There could be an element of wishful thinking. I mean, I see her looking at this like, I don't know, is it going to be this or is it going to be that? Some of you not real clear or sure of your options of what's going to take off. And again, there could be some illusion going on in terms of what's viable and what's not. Where you want to be is, again, more about expansion. We've got 2 3s here where you are trying to get the growth. And with this card, it is about coming into that expansion with your career, okay? And if you're totally done with your career, let's say you're retired, I think this is about, you know, your legacy, your generational wealth, what you are leaving behind, maybe having to do with property, an estate, your retirement fund. Some of you, though, you want to leave behind, like, in this life, you want to leave behind a really powerful legacy, whether it's, you know, with resources or it's with, you know, your line of work. You want to be remembered. You want to be something that lives on, leaves a legacy long after your life is gone, okay? But in a more immediate sense, I think that you're trying to get growth. I don't know that you know the path to it, okay? But you want growth where you have property, you have generational wealth, and your career is really solid. Some of you also not only wanting property, but having like an investment portfolio. I don't know that you necessarily want to be rich, but you want to be financially free. I think you want financial freedom. I mean, who doesn't? But that's what the cards are definitely indicating to me. I feel that some of you are not so much married to the pathway to this as you are married to that outcome. Like, I just want things to be stable. I want to leave a good legacy in my family. I want, or just in the world, you know, I want to prepare the way for things to be financially free in my life. That's where you're at, or where you want to be, but you're not quite there. So what is strengthening you right now in doing this and having this outcome? Queen of Wands, this is about you being confident and stepping out boldly, making some bold decisions, being courageous, being feisty, determined, going after what you're passionate about. Having a warmth to you. It could also be maybe a female friend is helping you out, is helping to support you or boost you. But I really think this is about going after your passions and stepping out boldly. Also, again, I'm getting the working hard, being diligent, refining your craft. What is maybe weakening your position, okay? We're going to look at what could be giving you obstacles, because I'm seeing there might be a supportive friend here. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I did see possibly an Aries or a Taurus there, but what's weakening your position? King of Swords could be your counterpart, or it could be your energy. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and Nine of Wands. This could also be a legal issue, possibly a lawyer, an attorney, laws, legalities, restrictions. That is, it's a very like legalistic way of thinking that has put you through some trials and tribulations. I don't know if this has been like the mandates, okay, the lockdown. Ordinarily, I don't read King of Wands that way. This is maybe also somebody in a leadership role, okay? But again, possibly, you know, somebody who is in the legal field, law enforcement. Oh, there's Miss Kitty wants to play. You know, issues having to do with the political, scientific arena. Protective services has created, I'm getting a 2020 and on vibe here, that there's been some trials and tribulations associated with these energies. And that has maybe put you on guard. That might have put you in a very protective mode. And I'm just getting a lot of fenced in type of energy. I know, Miss Kitty. She always wants to play at the wrong time, right? So yeah, maybe that's a vibe here. Let me say, did you want to go out and play and have fun with your money, your career? And the authority said, no, you sit your ass down. The science, you know, we found out about the science. The science was paid for, right? And some of you also, there are things, I'm going to say, if this is your energy, you have this knowing within yourself that you have to protect yourself, because you have been through some harsh lessons. But you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do. So, but like I said, it looks like you have a friend here that could be supporting you in this time. And it looks like also, I mean, I keep getting consistently a message that if you are just diligent and you keep hammering it out and leveling up and refining, you're going to be rewarded by this. So let's get some advice on improving your chance of success. What can Aquarius do to improve their chance of success? Quiet retreat. Some of you, this is about working in solitude. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create this quiet time for yourself, and you'll have more clarity about what's next. So honestly, I feel like, again, it's going back to the Seven of Cups of maybe not really knowing clearly what is viable and what's not. And you're on guard, and you know that maybe it's for good reason, but it's causing maybe you to hold back from things you shouldn't. I think, again, it's kind of like the last card, the last spread where we got the nature, going out in nature. You need to really get maybe clean of all these electronic devices and just get out in nature. Unplug, get out in nature, really tune into spirit to get some clarity on what options are viable, what are not, so that you come into a real solid place of knowing very clearly what you need to protect. Because it might be something that you're doing here. I don't know, I'm getting something about protect and versus abandon. Do you need to abandon it, abandon ship, or you keep working on it, but you you work on it a different way while protecting something else? I'm getting lost in this Neptunian fog over here with that Seven of Chalices, okay? Donations, tithing, and charitable work. Some of you maybe try to I'm getting a mixed message about that as well. Some of you, perhaps by doing some volunteer work, particularly during the holiday season, you could come into some powerful connections, okay? Make friends with people who actually are connectors to opportunities and options, all right? I'm getting another message that for some of you in your line of work, let's say you do like me where you give charitably, right? Like I put out these free readings, but you need to create an option for people to like give back in some way to make an energetic exchange. If it's not through buying your products or your services, tip jars, right? I've got tip jars in the description box. So people want to, just give me $1, even if it's just $1, or buy me a cup of coffee, right? Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it means something. So find a way for you, for other people to give back to you, all right? This says, give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you, and know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, and other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. Okay. So what's the likely outcome if you take that advice? Honestly, I'm getting just working quietly and consistently is the vibe I'm getting here, is quietly and consistently. Some of you working solo. Two of Chalices, very interesting, you know, card, because that indicates actually maybe again a friend is going to prove helpful to you. And if it's not a friend, it might be like an association, or an associate, or somebody that you're affiliated with, somebody that you are partnered or united with. Basically, collaborating with people who you have a unity of purpose with, okay? So, honestly, I feel that if you take this advice again, you're going to make some friends here, okay? Or you're going to meet some new associates that actually, I'm hearing collaborations. You're going to be able to do some collaborate work. Possibly King of Chalices, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces might show up as a friend or an associate or somebody that you end up partnering with. But I'm also seeing this is a healing connection here. And it could have to do with lines of work related to counseling, healing, healthcare worker, or somebody who's maybe a teacher or an artist. And again, charity work. For some of you, you're going to meet a really powerful union in charity work. It's interesting. I was, just a side note, and then I'm going to let you go. This is an interesting message because a few days ago, I was like on meetup.com, and I was thinking I'd like to meet some people in my area. And I started searching, you know, the zip code where I'm at and who's out here and what's available. And I wasn't even thinking along these lines, but one of the options that came out was to once a week work at a charity. And that was listed on as a meetup, like come hang out with us, help us get food out, and oh, you know, you'll meet cool people and we'll give you free groceries. And I'm like, oh wow. Oh, that's cool. You get free groceries from hanging out and helping people. That's awesome. And of all places, it was on meetup.com, which is not someplace I was like, I wasn't seeking it out there, but it was quite an unusual, unexpected, and being brought back to that Seven of Chalices again, where it's like not what you expected or not what you thought, but hey, something maybe you didn't see clearly or you didn't think was viable, you know, or you thought, oh, that's all that is. That's all about. You find out, oh, there's something more to it. So hope that helps you, Aquarius, and looking forward to connecting with you again. And we'll do the financial stuff next Friday, God willing. So make sure if you want to, you know, tune in again, make sure that you've subscribed and activated the bell for notification. Of course, a lot of other hot topics coming out between now and then. So stay tuned. I'm looking forward to connecting with you again. Be blessed.